Issue 259. After Sonic's told that he's trapped in the room in Wing Fortress, Tails shows up and says that the control panel's right outside the door, explaining how he showed up. Well, that was easy. How many times have I said that? That's fast-paced storytelling for you. It just feels like it's in bad taste to have the very thing that was the cliffhanger of the last story get resolved that fast in the next one. Sonic implies that Tails is an idiot for mistaking a doll of Eggman for the real thing, and does so again because Tails landed the plane in the hangar, causing him to say with some robots around, "Good job, Pixel Brain, nobody would ever think of looking for a plane here." Tails at least justifies that there wasn't any badniks when he landed it, and Sonic asks how Eggman got all these badniks here so quickly until he sees the star post. Why is he so surprised? Eggman invented them before, he can do it again. This gives Sonic an idea, and he tells Tails to get to the tornado, and through force of habit, he tells Tails to leap before anyone gives him the credit, causing Tails to be frustrated at Sonic's ego since he's not allowed to have the credit anyways. Sonic starts the star post by using his super speed, and as Wing Fortress is falling towards the civilians, a flash of light happens in it, and the entire thing disappears, with Tails somehow being given the credit for it anyways. I guess they assumed he left a portal generator in there? That's pretty amusing. Tails sighs, wonders what happened to Sonic, and Sonic says there's no need to get all mopey. That's sweet. The story ends with Sonic saying that he sent Wing Fortress over to Eggman, which was completely destroyed along with the star posts. In the next story, we see Knuckles in Marble Garden Zone because Porker uncovered something big there, and he wants to look for the ultimate weapon described in the scroll so he can use it against Robotnik. He sees the word jump and almost gets hit by a spear shot at him, causing him to satisfyingly destroy the thing that shot it. Wish I could do that in the game. Knuckles says that if it hadn't been for that warning, he wouldn't have dodged. And as he lampshades why intruders will be warned about the traps, he ducks to avoid a swinging trap and falls into a hole with spiked walls coming up to him. Knuckles digs up through the ground to meet up with Porker at the building, where they find a skeleton with some text saying it's a Gizoid on the wall. Somehow Knuckles gets the conspiracy theory that this could be a clue as to where his people have gone. So how is a skeleton a Gizoid and not one of the Emerald robots? Are they just misappropriating the name for the sake of a game reference? Knuckles assumes that the skeleton was the one who wrote warnings about the traps, and the story ends with Emerald threatening Porker. In the next story, at Casino Night Zone, we see that the mob is helping people out with the badnik problem, of course in exchange for money and favors. It makes perfect sense that this is how a mob would take advantage of the situation. They're kind of like heroes, but more selfish. I can imagine the evil twins and Archie doing the same thing. One of the mob's screens gets an incoming transmission where they see the Seaside Hill Zone under attack by hundreds of badniks. Someone says that's unfortunate because Seaside Hill's always been cooperative, and he wants to send in Little Friend, which he wanted to keep as a surprise. Over in Metropolis, Big is told to give a pizza to people at an address, take the money, and leave. This is probably a ploy to convince Big to go somewhere and do what he really wants him to do, like blow someone up, when he's normally a peaceful cat. Big wonders how to read that thing while he's riding a bike at the same time, and someone driving behind him lampshades his stupidity. Then Big reveals that he has no idea how to ride a bike at all, so where'd he get one? This is Big written well. He's doing all sorts of stupid things rather than simply having a stupid voice. He's comedy relief. An explosion knocks Big into the sky, he lands right in front of the address, and when the civilian says, "Great, I'm starving," he replies, "I don't know where it is," which made me giggle. We see some of the mobsters in front of the badniks, with one of them holding a pizza box, yelling, "How is this supposed to help us?" And Harvest Man says, "Look, pal, I just follow orders. Take it up with the Don." That really made me laugh. Just the idea that Don intentionally gave this order. When really there was just a mix-up, as karma to the chef throwing stuff at Big and getting him confused. The guy throws the pizza over his shoulder, complaining, "The Don and I had a deal! When we were in trouble, he'd send help, not an extra spicy pepperoni." And that made me giggle too. Then an explosion happens, destroying the badnik, implying that there was a bomb inside of that pizza all along. And the story ends with the purple goon saying about the explosion, It's a jalapenos, I'm telling you. Which made me giggle and smile as well. That's the most charming this comic has been in a while. The entire issue is by McDonald, and has the cliffhanger of Sonic trapped in Wing Fortress solved really easily because Tails frees him with the control panel behind him, and they find a star post. A fascinating way of getting rid of the crashing aircraft as it gets sucked into a portal like it was a black hole. And it was funny that Tails somehow managed to get the credit for it anyways. The second story is also by McDonald, and as I wonder if they're ever going to pick up the plot where they'll track Zachary down to Knuckles' people, we see Knuckles in Marble Garden making his way past traps he's warned about until he finds Emerald. So wouldn't he have explored every inch of the island by this point and already found these things by now? Instead, they were suddenly here all along, just like with Vegemite. He was suddenly always there. It feels like every time something from Echidna history becomes relevant to the plot, it comes out of nowhere. It feels contradictory, because it didn't ever get mentioned earlier. I just can't help but feel like Penders did this a lot more gracefully. Nothing about his Echidna history felt like a retcon. It was just adding to the world. I didn't need other Echidnas around, but if there were stories around them, it would make more sense and feel less out of place than some random god of death or suddenly a Gizoid Knuckles never met before, who only makes sense to be connected to the Echidnas because of Sonic Chronicles. And the third story, easily my favorite one, is a nice comedy relief one where Big is told to deliver a pizza to someone by his mafia chef. He gets the boxes mixed up, and then he bumps into Harvest Man in the confusion of things being thrown at him for stupidity, causing a hilarious ending where both the pizza and the bomb get put in the same box. I really love the idea that even the mob are fighting badniks, even if it's to get rewards for themselves. Because either way, they're still doing good, being heroes, which is fascinating for villains in a mob to do. And they have a good incentive to do so. Money, basically. It's like if the evil twins did this, they'd fight badniks for the same reason, and it'd be a nice ironic twist.